If you're like me and you grew up in the golden era of JRPGs back in the Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 era, then mobile games probably aren't your favorite. We had a lot of companies during the PS3 and Xbox 360 era move to mobile or put more of an emphasis on mobile, and we got a lot less, and I think that left a lot of fans with a bad taste in their mouth. However, as the years have gone on, we've had great games like Grand Blue Fantasy, Dragalia Lost, and so much more that have really made a case for good mobile games. But I feel like there still hasn't been one truly great JRPG. Sure, we've had games ported and used touch controls, but it's not quite the same. We haven't had a game with mobile in mind when it was developed. And today I'm here to tell you about what I think is the first truly great JRPG built for mobile. And that is Another Eden, The Cat Beyond Time and Space. I wanted to talk about this game today for a couple reasons. One, I think mobile games have gotten a truly bad reputation over the years, and I don't think a lot of them really deserve the ones they've gotten. There are some really great games that you can play for dozens and dozens of hours and have a great experience and not spend a dime. And if you want to chuck a couple bucks at it, then your experience is that much better for it. But Another Eden truly feels like a console JRPG built for mobile. And what I mean by that is there's exploration, there's story, there's turn-based combat, there's side quests, there's everything you would expect in a typical JRPG. It's just on a mobile device now. And I think a problem that a lot of people have had with mobile games in the past is that they are mobile games first and then they are RPGs second. But with Another Eden, it perfectly mixes the two. At least that's what I feel like. And for a lot of you old school fans that might be thinking, I don't want to get into this. This is a mobile game. I just want to stick to my console games. Let me tell you about a couple high-profile people that have contributed to this game that might make you feel a little bit better about it. So the director for Another Eden is Masato Kato, who was the scriptwriter for not only Chrono Trigger, but also Xenogears and Final Fantasy VII, and also served as director on Chrono Cross. Yosunori Mitsuda, who did the soundtracks for Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, also did a lot of the music for this game. So if you're into those games at all, then you'll like what this game has to offer. So enough chit chat about all that. What exactly is Another Eden? What does it play like? What kind of game is it? Like I said, you explore towns. So part of the footage you're watching right now is in this futuristic town because, hey, it's made by the Chrono Triggered people. There are aspects of time travel. So you have traveled far into the future and you're kind of trying to figure this mystery out. And so you can explore the town, go into people's homes, talk to them, get side quests, and anything else you'd expect from a typical JRPG. But what's really neat is that it is so intuitive. You can easily, use the touch controls to explore town. You tap on a building to go inside. And there's a mini map that really clearly explains what's supposed to be going on. Now, if you go inside your menu, you can set priority quests so the game will highlight it in a specific color so you really know where you need to go. Or if you just want to go on and do things as they come along, then you can do that too. So the bit of footage you're probably looking at is me exploring this futuristic highway where I'm trying to find a certain enemy, but then I'm also trying to collect a few items for a quest. And what's cool is there's a mini map so you can clearly see where the dead ends are, and there is like simple exploration, but if you're playing a game on mobile, you're not expecting this grand open world Breath of the Wild Final Fantasy scale game. You want it to be simplistic. You pull your phone out, you can only play for a few minutes here and there, or heck, what's really great about Another Eden is you could play hours on end like a typical game, which I've done in spurts for sure, and it feels just as good as those types of games. Now the combat is turn-based, so you have a party of up to 4, I believe, and then you can switch party members in on the fly from your backup. And if somebody's dying or you just need a character that has better abilities, then you can swap them in, and it's super easy. And I love that flexibility because a lot of games are restrictive in that way, where they'll have a turn-based party-based system, but you can't switch party members in, or if you do, it like wastes a turn. One of my favorite, a couple of my favorite versions of that system are Final Fantasy X, which you can swap a character in on the fly and you can still have a turn. And same thing with Persona 5 once you, of course, unlock the ability. And in Another Eden, you can do just that. And so what you do is you pick your abilities and you just hit go, and then they'll all do it at the same time. It's very quick, very snappy. And if you want to have a special certain ability, you can set that to repeat each time. There's like a repeat button, so you don't have to keep selecting it every single time. So it's pretty intuitive. Now, obviously, like you do some grinding. It's not the hardest game in the world. You do enough grinding, you level up, you get some abilities, and it does its thing. And the skill tree is pretty linear, but it feels cool to, like, as you level up, you get new skills, you get to increase your stats, you get new abilities. It's fun to see your characters progress. And speaking of characters, I want to mention this a bit because that's the only way you can pay for content in this game is to pay for party members. And the game does not throw it in your face at all. There are so many benchmarks in the game just by logging in daily, by going to the store. You can literally, it'll just like, hey, thanks for coming to the store. We'll give you 10 free, I think they call them Chrono Stones, which is like the in-game currency if you want to spend it. And you accumulate enough to where you can randomly get new party members if you want. But what's cool is when you start the game will just let you pick one of the characters from their roster. They're like, here's all the characters we have, feel free to pick one, and then you just have that for the rest of the game. And so I picked kind of a Chinese melee style fighter, and she was a lot of fun. And then just for the purposes of this video, I showed you a spin, and I got this kind of melee robot, and I haven't played with him yet because I already have a melee character, so it doesn't seem necessary. But what's also cool is you recruit characters as you play the game. Now, you'll notice I have 3 other characters. There's the pink princess girl, there's Amy, who's kind of got the bikini top with the jacket, and then there is, I think her name is Rika, she's the pink-haired robot. And you'll just acquire these characters throughout the game. And now, if you saw the thumbnail, there's a frog character who's like, okay, that just looks like straight out of Chrono Trigger, and again, it's the Chrono team, so that's probably what they had in mind. Like, oh, let me just throw the frog character in because that's familiar, and he's a character that you can get throughout the game just normally as you play it. So if you're looking for a mobile RPG that doesn't have a ton of greedy gacha mechanics where it makes you feel like you got to spend money to even like compete, this is not that game. This is a fully fledged multi-hour RPG that's just built for mobile. Like, you'll start playing it and you won't even think to yourself, wow, I'm playing a mobile game. You'll just be like, oh, this is like a typical JRPG. But the design philosophy is made with mobile in mind. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't consider when it comes to games. Yeah, is the combat fun? Does it look nice? Is there a story? But no, it comes down to design. I think that's really what people forget about when they're playing a game is the design. Like, how are the developers using the mechanics in the game? How does it make you feel to play this game? Is it frustrating? Is it grindy? Is the game at odds with its own mechanics? And Another Eden is just so easily playable. It looks nice. It has great music. It has fun combat, and it gives you enough of those items to where you can just recruit new characters all the time if you're playing a lot. And hey, if you want to throw some money at it, it's not too expensive. I have not spent a dime on this game, and I have been having a ton of fun. So anyways, guys, if you have been playing this game, let me know what you think, or if this is the first time you've heard of it, let me know if you feel like you're going to give it a try. Like I said, it is free. You don't have to pay any money, and it's by some very reputable names in the JRPG development community, people that you probably know, and I hope you give it a try. I really hope that, with this video, people can give mobile RPGs a try that they've been turned off from mobile games in the past, or they just haven't come across the right one. For me, it was Dragalia Lost. That was the game that turned me on to mobile games, and I play that game every day. And Another Eden, I'll play in spurts here and there, but it doesn't have those, daily treadmills like, oh, do these 5 things a day. It's like more of a story thing. And so anyways, guys, I don't want to go in circles, but those are my thoughts on Another Eden. I hope you might give this game a shot, and if you have played it, let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to this discussion. Hopefully it's not too contentious. Hopefully we don't have too many people hating on mobile games. Hopefully we can just have a good time and have some good discussion. So thanks again for watching, guys. See you on the next video.